Hi, I'm Master Keith.
I'm Master Amanda, and we own Olson's Martial Arts Academy in Johnson City, Tennessee, and this is
Martial Arts Support. The top 3 reasons that I see people wanting to train martial arts. Number 1 is focus and discipline for their child to help them with at school and at home. Also, adults, I see them getting involved for fitness, and then little boys and girls just want to do karate and kick and punch stuff.
top 3 reasons I think people want to be healthy and do it in a fun way. Martial arts is a lot of fun, and it does keep you healthy. Also, self-defense. I think people really want to know how to take care of themselves in situations that might be unexpected, and I think parents want their children to know how to take care of themselves. And then lastly, I think people want to take martial arts because who doesn't want to be a black belt?
Yeah.
Do you have to bow? So bowing is a cultural thing to show respect, and so instead of shaking hands like we do, bowing might be more appropriate, and it's also just a sign of respect. For us, there's no religious connotation to it at all.
One of the reasons that we bow is because it's just a cultural thing from where the martial arts came from. Instead of shaking hands, they bow to each other as a greeting. So that's one of the things that we do, is try to, your martial art experience should have part of that original culture in it, and so that's important. The other thing is it is a mindset shift. So you realize when you bow onto the mat that it's now time to focus and train in your martial arts and leave the world behind you. And then the same thing when you're leaving the mat, just respect for your training, and then it's time to go about your day.
What do the belt colors mean? Well, there are many different answers for that. So our Taekwondo belts go white belt, orange belt, yellow belt, green belt, advanced green belt, purple, blue, brown, advanced brown, red, advanced red, black belt candidate, black belt. You start at white belt, which means that your mind is pure and without knowledge. And then as you go up your belt levels, it's equated to a seed. And so the seed needs to be watered and planted, and then needs to be taken care of. And then the roots begin to dig into the ground. The tree starts to grow, reaching for the sky, which is your blue belt. And then eventually there's a dawn comes, and then the new day starts, and that's when your black belt is achieved.
That's a beautiful story. A black belt candidate is the person who has attained everything through the color belt system, and the very next step is going to be their black belt. That's where they have to complete quite a bit before they are allowed to even test for their black belt. There's community service, a fitness test, there's a written test, a skill level test, all of these different testings that they actually go through as a candidate. It's more time than a regular color belt, and once they've accomplished all of that, then they're allowed to test for their black belt. So it's a pretty exciting time. Reach that candidate belt, you realize, okay, I've got a big challenge ahead of me. It's kind of inspiring.
So what does the word dan mean? Dan means degree, and there's different degrees, levels of black belts. The first one that you earn is your first degree black belt, then your second degree and third degree, all the way up. Different Taekwondo associations and martial arts associations have different rank levels that they stop at. Some is the 9th degree, some is the 10th degree, and it progressively gets longer in between those ranks. So typically for most academies, it's 1 to 2 years in between the first and second degree, a minimum of 2 years between the second and third, 3 years between the third and fourth, and so on.
Can you be injured in martial arts, and what are the most common injuries? Well, like any activity, like walking down the street or rolling out of bed, yes, you can be injured. But if you look at statistically, injuries in sports, martial arts is well below football, baseball, basketball, running, a whole lot less injuries than those more mainstream teamwork activities.
Learning proper technique and learning it slowly in the beginning is crucial to minimizing injuries. The most common ones are a twisted ankle if you trip, and then that's really the main injury that we have. If some of the older students, if we don't stretch properly before kicking, could pull a hamstring or a back muscle. So I'd say that would be the other common one. Do we see a lot of women and girls training in Taekwondo? Our academy at the moment is about 50-50 boys and girls, and that's in our adult class and our juniors class. So there are tons of women and girls training in martial arts.
I've been doing martial arts for my whole life since I was a child, and when I started martial arts, it was mostly with boys and men, and even as I went into my teenage years and early 20s, there weren't a lot of women and girls. But I'm excited to see the trend really change quite a bit. There are just as many girls as boys training, and they're enjoying it and having fun, and it's really inspiring for me to see that, seeing women and girls feeling that same empowerment that I did as a young child.
All right, when do you learn to spar, and do you have to spar? Again, every school is different. At our academy, you begin sparring about 6 months into your training. That way, you've learned some skills. We teach you how to have good defense and good offense, so you're prepared going into sparring. Unless there is some medical or physical limitation to sparring, you are required to spar. There's many different facets in martial arts. You're gonna usually gravitate towards some more than others, but we have great instructors that help if you are nervous or scared to spar. That we have some great ways to overcome those fears.
Does martial arts training make a child aggressive? The answer to that is no. It's a great outlet for kids to get that energy out. They get to yell, they get to punch in a very controlled environment, and there's rules and discipline, and they learn that here's when I can do my martial arts and here's when I cannot do my martial arts. And just by getting that energy out in a social situation, they don't feel like they have all this energy that they want to get out. They know they have a place to do that. However, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have a child that might be shy and actually needs to learn how to stand up for themselves. And we definitely can help a child in that area build their confidence and self-esteem. What are the commands that you are shouting?
All right, here's a few. So the first one is chariot, and that means to stand at attention and don't move a muscle. Yes, sir. And then kunye, which means to bow. And yelling, which is called a kiap, is for helping you to breathe when you're doing your techniques, which is going to help relax you and help you be faster. And similar to where a tennis player will yell when they hit the ball, it helps to release more energy.
Is Taekwondo effective for self-defense? Yes, it is. There's a lot of talk about which martial arts is the best martial arts, and my answer to that is the best martial arts for self-defense is the one that you know. All right, so whatever you are practicing, practice it to the best of your abilities. Make sure you understand how it works in a self-defense situation, and then you're going to be able to use it. After
doing martial arts my whole life and being able to fight professionally in mixed martial arts, I know that it's fully in the practitioner. And so Taekwondo is wonderful for self-defense, for distance management, great coordination for blocking and defending yourself. So a lot of it might have to do with your teacher as well. One of the best things about learning your martial arts is you learn how to avoid conflict and how to see something coming and how to make sure you don't find yourself in a situation where you need it. But should you? Yes, it works. Why do we break wooden boards? Come on. Last one. Come on, all the way through that board. Let's go. Smash it. Well, it perfects your technique and your accuracy, and it just feels really cool. I hope this was helpful and interesting. And I hope it was informative for your martial arts journey.